Hey guys, Baz86 here, back with you, doing a review of the channel for 2022. So, this is to sum up all the games, all the stuff that I've done for the Baz86 channel over 2022. Reviews and all that. So, instead of doing what I did last year, which is put up all the games in a list and I put it on the screen and do it that way, I thought I'd just go back to the technique I did when I first did this, which was in 2018, I think, 2017, 2018. I started reviewing each of the things that I did in the year. So I'm going to use the book that I use. I wrote all the games that I did. The playlist is there in the playlist section of the channel for you to view at your own leisure or whenever you need to. It's there to check it out. So, let's get started. Hey, by the way, guys. Right. So, the first game we kicked off with for the 2022 streaming was Here Comes the Pain. So I decided to do another series of this, another part of this, but I looked at it I had done a character season before, which was, I believe, RVD. I think I did RVD, and then I did I didn't do John Cena on Here Comes the Pain. Did RVD, I think, on Here Comes the Pain, and then various other ones within the story. So I did that, and so I did a Triple H season. So I did a Triple H season and went through the different season on that. Now, remember I was going through some internet issues as I'd only recently come back to here, and I was trying to get used to the internet again that they have here, and there was a bit of glitching and a bit of stuttering and stuff going on, but all in all, I think the stream came across okay, considering it was on the PS2 and lacked graphics and that. But I think it went okay. It wasn't it wasn't too bad. Moving on, we then moved on to WWE SmackDown vs Raw 2007. I did a season mode of that. Again, I think I did it with Triple H once again. I only did Here Comes the Pain and 2007 in 22, I think. I don't think I jumped on 2006 or any of the ones like SmackDown vs Raw or 2006 or 2008 or 2009. I just stuck between these two and just did that. So it was the same experience, just a little bit better graphics, kind of a bit more in-depth storyline, even though it was a short storyline from what I remember. So had that to do. Then we went on to a completely, well, it was still the same genre of gaming. It was fighting, but it was to do with punch-ups rather than wrestling. So we went on to Tekken. I did Tekken 1, Tekken 2, and Tekken 3. Just doing random gameplay from those games. Nothing with an intention or anything like that. Just keeping my enjoyment of Tekken and showing the experiences with you guys and showing how much I still love those type games. And then I either continued or started again my Formula 1 2020 series, which my Formula 1 2020 series involved some online action that I did with Tony and Sean and Curzo, and the Fire Team, which was an offline experience where I started up my own team, joined the Formula 1 roster of teams, as in Ferrari, Mercedes, and all that, and took the fire team as far as I could. As far as I could do. I did season one, where the car, I remember, crashed in Abu Dhabi because I set it to the limit. I couldn't. It was the engine parts. I'd used up all the engine parts. I'd used up all the brakes. I'd used up all the ECUs, all that sort of stuff. So it was knackered and it blew up, or it broke in Abu Dhabi on its last race in the season. So then I stripped it, so to speak. I repainted it, and I did a season 2 of the fire team car in Formula 1 2020. So I showed you streams and parts of its journey throughout the season 1 and season 2, and that was ongoing until I've just cut it off and scrapped it for the year. And like I said, starting not doing any more of those parts. Then we went over to City Skylines. Move over to City Skylines, and did my city, which was based on, so to speak, Las Vegas, but I call it San Vegas, and was trying to simulate, a growing city in a simulation game to try to show off, its capabilities, what it has, and what you could do in the game. I did a couple of parts, and my knowledge and research that I had done of City Skylines, I showed it to you guys and streamed it, and was able to put in the music as well, which kind of showed off the experience even more, because it was nice not to get any strikes for that. So showed off City Skylines, which was really good. I then came back to WWE, but did a WWE 2K19. I continued my universe mode that I'd done from 2021 and finished it off on part 91, and said, I'm not doing. My intention was to get to WrestleMania in the universe. It turned out to be a lot longer target or place to get to than I actually thought about. I thought it was just going to be a simple thing to do. Turned out to be longer than that, and once I got to part 91, I said, I'm not doing any more of this. This is just taking way too long. So yeah, I showed the journey up to that and the capabilities of being able to sort out your own show, do your own match card, and then either, if you wanted to, play the matches or simulate the matches and watch them with the computer doing it, which I found out was a lot better thing to do. It's like sit back and just watch it unfold rather than me take control of it and either lose or win. And so yeah, it was a nice experience to do that. I had done that on 2K19. Then we come to, I think at some point between here, I did Lilac Wars. I revisited an N64 game again and went a different path than I did the previous time I did it. So the last time I did it, I went through the easy path, but I stopped at Venom. Venom was one of the end goals. You get to a place called Venom, and you meet a boss who was like the who wanted to destroy Andros, I think his name. Yeah, Andros. He was the man who wanted to take over the Lilac system, which being a made-up system that Star Fox was in. That's why it was called Lilac Wars. And I'd gone the easy path, but like I said, I'd stopped at Venom and didn't want to go any further. This time, when I revisited it, I decided to go the hard path, show off the hard path, and then complete the game. If I'd done the hard path and got to Venom, I then wanted to experience Venom and show it off. I was a bit nervous, as the stream shows, but I'm glad that I didn't. I think I did it in one shot. I don't believe I died at any time, even though I lost wings. I did lose my wings, but I don't think I died. I came out with barely anything, and struggled on and did it, and completed the game and showed it on stream. So that was Lilac Wars. Then we move on to a new game that I think came out this year, which was Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring was like Dark Souls, Elden Ring was like Sekiro, but on a different scale. And I didn't know a lot about it. I hadn't done any research. I went kind of blind into it, but I sort of knew what I wanted to do. So once the beta version had gone and the full game had come out, I went with a samurai class and decided to take on the world that way. Now, I first took on the world myself as best as I could, learning the combat systems and how to deal with each challenge that came my way. And then when the bosses came, I found them very difficult. I found them very difficult to do. So that was when I tried to get online into it, so that people could help me. That was something that Elden Ring gave to you, that you could have online players come in, help you out, and tackle the boss for you. And once they did that, they would go away, and that would be it. They wouldn't do anything else. They achieved what they had to achieve to help you progress into the game. But yeah, enjoyed Elden Ring. Elden Ring was good, but it got repetitive after a while, and I never completed it because I didn't know. I'd got to a certain strength, and I didn't know where to go from there and what path to take, so I kind of cut the street. I cut the part and just went, end part, last part, this is it. So that was that. Then we move on to WWE 2K22 Universe Mode. So this was 2 years, 2 years from 2K19. As we all know, 2K20 was a disaster. 2021 they didn't make because it was COVID, so they brought 2022 out, and it was a knight in shining armor. It was a great game. It was a fantastic graphics, design, characters, gameplay, all that. New coat of paint, all looked fantastic. And I did a universe mode and started it out, but realised that it was pretty much the same thing, and did a couple of parts and then just stopped. And I also did, I didn't mention, I did a universe mode and a GM mode. They brought GM mode back from 2008, I think. And I tried it out, and I did 2 seasons of GM mode, and then stopped. So I did a season 1, which I got to a certain point and got bankrupt and lost. And then I did a season 2, which the same thing happened, I think. And then I just thought, I stopped with this and didn't go any further. Then we move on to Formula 1 2021. So the next instalment of Formula 1 2020, the new instalment 2021 series. I brought Fireteam back again. Did a season 1 of that. I was still working on it when I got to a certain part. I think my last race was Hungarian Grand Prix, and I decided to just stop there. I'd had enough. I didn't want to do any more, and I cut the stream and said, I didn't cut the stream, I just cut the parts and just went, last part here, and just said, enough of that. But yeah, it was a good racing experience for what it did, but I never did any online stuff on Formula 1 2021, just kept it offline, and that was that. Next, we move on to Uncharted, the best chapters. So I did, thanks to the Uncharted, the definitive edition, it allowed me to do Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. So I did the best chapters of Uncharted 1, that I thought was good in the actual game itself. Same with Uncharted 2. I did the best chapters that I've believed was the best in the game, and the same with Uncharted 3. And then I showed them off in a part series and completed that, which I really enjoyed going back to Uncharted when I did that, so it was really nice to do. Then I did the sequel to a game I'd done in 2020 or 2021. I can't remember. I think it might have been 2020. Did the sequel to Judgment, which was called Lost Judgment, which brought back Yagami and his mates, and a different storyline, which was quite in depth once again. And I briefly touched on the DLC, but I wasn't planning on doing a series of the DLC, which brought in one of Yagami's friends, which was called Kaito, and I was going to do Kaito's files, but I thought, nah, it's just a different storyline, didn't bring much more to the game, so I thought I'd just keep it at Lost Judgment and stop with that. Moving on, I think I did some streams with FIFA 22. I did Champions League with PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, and played those. So that was alright with FIFA 22. Hey Zio, mate. You alright, man? Then I moved over to the Sniper Elite series. The Sniper Elite series being from who did the Sniper Elite series? I can't remember offhand. But I did the Sniper Elite V2 series on my. So this was a remake to what I did on the. Well, I used to play it on the PS3, but I brought it over to the PS4 so I could stream it, and did the Sniper Elite V2 series. I did the Sniper Elite 3 series, and I love my sniper games, as you may know by now, and I enjoyed doing each and every single one of the Sniper Elite games, which brings me on to the Sniper Elite 5, which came out this year. I did Sniper Elite 5, which I really enjoyed. Sniper Elite 5 brought the same aspects of what 2, 3 and 4 did, but enhanced them with graphics and everything. Made you really experience the shot, you're there, boom, boom, and then all that sort of stuff. So really enjoyed doing that. Glad you're right, mate. I saw your streams that you done today, or a little bits of them. I still trying to sort out my internet, so I can't see live streams. I'm not able to see live streams very well, but when I do get a chance, and I'll check them off a live stream and see how you did that. I watched your Legend of Zelda 3DS version with rescuing Epona. Eventually got there, mate. Eventually got there, Zio, from doing that. So well done, man. So I did the Sniper Elite series. I also did what I like to do. I don't know if I've done this previously. I think I might have. I've started doing what's called a Sports Galore section. So a Sports Galore section brings all the games that I do with sports, as in any games that I have related to sports. I noticed, mate, you lost a hell of a fortune in rubies. What was it, 150 in total? 150 rubies in total? I think that's about right. That's a hell of a fortune, mate. But, I do the Sports Galore. So the Sports Galore being any games that related to sports that I have on my games list, I will put up. So I did, at the time, or this time, I did snooker, baseball, basketball, football, and golf and tennis. So I had six games in my games list that I did and put up to create the Sports Galore 2022 section that I did, which I enjoyed. I I planned on. I did one match on each sport. So I did one game in snooker, one game in basketball, one game in baseball, one game in tennis, and one game in golf, or one round of 18, and one game of football, and showed it off as a stream. The next thing that I did was I did the GTA, the definitive edition. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did do it. And I did the GTA 3. I'd never experienced, well, I'd sort of experienced Liberty City. It was part of Liberty City. I did the Liberty City stories off camera and off stream. But I did the original GTA 3 and put that up. It was a little bit glitchy, I will admit. But that was because there was a lot of detail and things going on. So it had the internet had problems keeping up with the GTA experience, but it came across okay, I believe. I also did the Vice City, which is, as we all know, is one of the best GTA games ever to be created until I played San Andreas. I'd never ever experienced San Andreas before. San Andreas was this was the first time I did it, and it was kind of like a blind stream for me because I didn't know about San Andreas. No one had ever told me about it, and I put it up, and I was blown away by the experience of San Andreas. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed streaming it for all of you. Then I came back to a classic which I did for the PS3, which was Sleeping Dogs. I enjoyed doing Sleeping Dogs. By the way, all these games that I'm listing off are games that I've put a playlist of. So it's live streams of 2022. As you've probably noticed by now, if you keep following my channel, you'll notice that I do, after every year, I do a playlist of the streams of that year. So I've got live streams of 2016, live streams of 2017, live streams of 2018, and so on. And without fail, I've done live streams of 2022. So I'm just reading them out and just a review of the games that I've done this year. So yeah, Sleeping Dogs. There was the definitive edition. I brought it to the PS4, and I showed off the stream and showed off the gameplay with you guys and got through it and done it. I may have done different things that I did on the PS3. Possibly, I don't know. It's been a while since I played it on the PS3, but I brought it to the PS4, and again, sometimes it was glitchy, other times it wasn't, but it worked well enough, I feel. I also done. Let me just turn the page. I also did TMNT. I know Zio loved TMNT. It was only a day stream though. You could do it in about 4 hours, 5 hours if you really put the effort in. So it was a game that kind of brought us back to the love of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the feeling of the arcades all upgraded with graphics and all that sort of stuff. So definitely enjoyed doing TMNT Shredder's Revenge, and I know Zio didn't get the experience of it, but I certainly got the experience of the online version of it, as in the sense of people randomly coming in at any time they wanted. A turtle would fall from the sky, and when the turtle falls from the sky, you're like, well, who's that? And you wouldn't care because it doesn't tell you who that player is. It just says Raph, Donnie, Mikey. You don't know who that player is, but you're thankful that they're there if and when you need them. So it was nice to. Sometimes you'd have maybe just one turtle drop from the sky, but then sometimes you might have 6, you and 5 other players drop down, and it would be like, well, this is chaos, and you would feel the nostalgia as if you went to an arcade machine and had loads of mates and were able to play the arcade version the same way. Moving on, played Sonic Origins. Love the Sonic games. I know I haven't touched on Sonic Frontiers. I don't think I will, just because of the online. It kind of ruins it a little bit. I might visit it if the price goes down, but at the moment, I know Zio has touched on the Sonic Frontiers. He only did one part, but has sort of enjoyed playing it. It seemed from his gameplay, but personally, for me, I don't think, unless it does, well, it will go down in price as the months go by. But for right now, I'm not jumping at the chance of getting Sonic Frontiers. But going on to Sonic Origins, that was a game that I jumped at the chance of getting because I love the Sonic franchise, the old classic 2D scrolls, Sonic 1, 2, 3, all that sort of stuff. Loved all those and loved experiencing and sharing the streams out. I know some of them were a little bit glitchy again. That's because of the internet and a lot of things going on, and Sonic running at epic speeds to get where he's going. But it was fun to do, fun to experience, and fun to share with you guys that experience of the Sonic Origins. Moving on, back to snipering again. I did Sniper Contracts Ghost Warrior 2. I had done Sniper Ghost Contracts Ghost Warrior 1, and I wondered what the 2 version came in, and it didn't bring much to the table, I have to admit, but it brought a lot to the fact that how detailed the gameplay was and how you could really pick and choose how you'd go about taking out a particular area or sorting out a particular hit that you had to do, like a certain target, and how you would go about taking him out and being patient and all that sort of stuff. The elements of being a sniper character. Moving on, I did Doom and Doom Eternal. I played Doom and completed the first Doom, but then came across Doom Eternal and found out that it was very difficult, no matter what difficulty you put it on. It's very hard once you got to a certain place that you really had to, you could easily get raged quite quickly. And that's what happened to me. I got very raged with the game and I fell out with it, and then I just thought, you know what, again, I just thought I'd stop playing it and come away from it and just show what I've done and the part that I last played on. I got as far as I could. Moving on, back to I can't believe I only did one PC stream this year. I did a lot of PC streams last year, but I only touched on one this year, and that was 2 Point Campus. I enjoyed the 2 Point Hospital that they had done. I enjoyed that very much, but I wanted to see what else they could do, and it was nice to come away from the hospital aspect of things. Every time problems is with the hospital stuff, the simulation. A lot of people, if you allow it to, a lot of people can die, which means the reputation of your hospital goes down and down. You lose money and all this sort of stuff, and it was just a pain. It was annoying to try to keep doing all that simulation and all that micromanaging, as they call it, to try to sort out your hospital. Now it was a little bit easier to do campus, to keep that going, micromanage the campus, and try to keep your students academically interested as year and year goes by. So it was a nice, fresh thing that dying and patients and things weren't the focus. The focus was actually getting students to be academically ready for when they graduated. In you had a whole year to get them to graduate. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the game, which is why I streamed 2 Point Campus and the different elements and challenges that game brought my way. I think I've left the best till last. I think the one game that defies every single game that I played in 2022, it has to be The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The N64 edition. I know Zio is playing the 3DS version, but I enjoyed the N64. At first, I didn't think I should do it. I was debatable as to whether I should go for it or not. I was worried that I had to do a lot of backtracking. I was worried that I wouldn't remember most of the game. But thanks to YouTube and that, I was able to stream and see somebody else do it to help me stream and show the game off as I did. I know sometimes I didn't get the audio right. I know sometimes I didn't get the sound. I didn't get the audio right, but I was thankful that when I saw it back, I was thankful that it came across very well. There was no glitching. There was no like stuttering or anything like that. There was no problems with the gameplay. Every single, all 13 parts that I did, all seemed to come off really nice and clear and crisp, which I was really happy about, and I really enjoyed going through that. I know some people would say, geez, Baz, you flew through that." I know I did, but that was only because for the first 3 parts of that game, I pretty much knew where I was going and what I was doing. It was just the adult sections that I was a little bit rusty on, but thankfully, and I know other channels were doing it, that they were using YouTube to help them out to get through parts they couldn't remember. So that brings me to a close of the games that I did in 2022. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for enjoying my streams. They're always going to be here. They're always going to be on the channel. I'm never going to take them off. I've enjoyed doing them. I've enjoyed experiencing the gameplay with you. I've enjoyed experiencing the live streams and things that I've done. I know as I ramble on the way I am, it sounds as though I'm about to, call up shop and forget and not do this anymore. But as you know, with my last stream that I did, I have a PS5 sitting next to me, and God knows what that's got in store for me for 2023. I hope and pray that the internet will be sorted, that I will get better internet. The problem I have is I can't use an Ethernet cable to get it up to here. I live in a 3-story house, so the main router, or the main socket plug for the internet, is all the way in the lounge, which is all the way downstairs in two stories downstairs. So it's difficult for me to get terrific internet. It would be awesome if I could, but I know today's day and age of internets, you can now experience the same signal strength as you would do if you were sitting right next to the main socket point in your house. So I'm hoping to get that. I'm looking into it. I'm checking it all out, seeing which one is beneficial for me. That is the, going forward. That is what we are looking for. Use PowerPoint adapters. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. I want to try to come away from using boosters. I don't want to use boosters anymore to help me try to get my boost increased. I just want to have a router and have it so that if it's true to what it says, that it will allow me to have the same signal strength up here as I as you would do if you were sitting right next to it. That's what they advertised. That's what I want to have, if possible, on a Wi-Fi connection, because I know the only other way I could do it is if I had two routers and then have a router up here, have an Ethernet in the back of the PS5, and then go from there. That's another sort of what is it? Another sort of path I'm going for. But that is the path I'm planning on going down in 2023. The PS5, like I said, is sitting right next to me. I'm looking forward to experiencing live streaming and using all this equipment that I have, that has been given to me, or I've put some money into it and things like that, to help me to make my gaming experience a little bit better. I was watching yesterday my stream of learning how to do all this, and I didn't read anything into it, so I wasn't sure. So I had people come into my streams to help me out with it, and finally I got it going, and it was just amazing. It was mind blowing how I managed to get it done, and now it feels so fluent. To just move over to another scene, or move over to another section, do what I need to do. If I need to go away, or like be right back, for example, I can put up a screen, I'll be right back, be as long as I need to be, come back, jump back on it, without having to have a blue screen come up or a black screen come up or anything like that. So it's a breath of fresh air, and I love the fact that these things are able to do, and is able to enhance my gaming ability, if anything. So thank you, everybody. I know I've said it many times. I know I've drilled it into your brains. Like, I keep saying thank you. People think I don't appreciate it. I certainly do appreciate everything that everybody comes into my streams with. I know people are on busy schedules. I know they can't always be in my streams all the time. I try my best to get into your streams. I try my best to venture out and see what other people are doing. Sometimes it just comes down to the game that you're playing. If it's a game I'm not interested in, or it's a game that I've seen or I've experienced myself, I might not come back to it, because I don't want to be the one to take over your stream. I don't want to be the one messaging in your chat box, this is how you do it, do this, do that, go here, go there. So I don't want to be that person. You experience the game the way you experience it. I experience the game the way I experience it. So that's how that goes. And if at any time I've got a chance where I can go online and we can do it together, then by all means I'm up for that at any point. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and a Happy New Year. I hope to see you guys and continue streaming in 2023, wherever I may be. Who knows what 2023 will bring? No clue. Nobody knows at this point. We're just seeing 2022 out. So thank you for joining me. All the best to everybody, and I will end the stream as I normally do. I will put my shout outs up to everyone. Shout outs to everybody who I feel has stuck by me, or, well, not really stuck by me, but sort of, I just put random shout outs to the people who I keep watching and I keep viewing and things. So here's my shout outs. So they're just a couple of YouTube channels out there in the YouTube world that I watch and follow and take notice of, and are still going today and still expanding way more than that can be possible So I'd like to get there at some point. It would be nice. But I'm just taking it casually. I'm not rushing. Just taking the time that that it takes. I'm not in a rush to get there, but it will happen if it happens. When it will happen. So thank you again. I know I said thank you way too many times in this stream already, and I will see you guys. Merry Christmas and a happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next Baz86 live stream. I'll see you in 2023. Take it easy. All the best. Bye for now.